Welcome everyone to another edition of our Africa Masterclass. So by now you'll all be very familiar with what is probably Africa's leading crypto education event. So if you guys haven't seen, we have literally educated, I think, 450,000 Africans across Africa, obviously, on everything from crypto investing, crypto trading, blockchain technology, blockchain development. So at Binance, we are very passionate about connecting with you and helping you to sort of achieve whatever it is that you want to do in the space. So as the webinar title states, today we are going back to cryptocurrency basics. So if you are completely new to cryptocurrency, you just saw a post somewhere and you decided to join, well, you are in the right place. So first, we've got to get some housekeeping out of the way. So yes, we have some amazing speakers for you that will be joining shortly. Yes, we are going to tell you how you can participate in giveaways to the value of 35,000 Rand over the next week. So some of those are guaranteed. So even if your Binance account is completely empty now, by the end of the week, we're hoping that it's not going to be. So we have some amazing speakers that are here with us today. The reason I'm going to be going first is because otherwise no one would listen to me. I'm sure everyone is here to hear the other amazing speakers like Blake the Champ, Carvin, Goldstone, Ivyn, Sambo, the team from FinMeUp. So they are far more famous and better looking than I am, but unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to me first. So I think the first thing we should chat about is, again, if you just saw this post, you have no idea who is this Binance company. It looks like finance spelled with a B. Well, we are kind of a big deal, I would say. We are actually the world's biggest cryptocurrency exchange. So we have about 67% of the global market share at the moment. So it sounds like you're watching Bloomberg. All that means is that if you pick 10 random people in the world that trade or invest in cryptocurrency, chances are 7 of those people use Binance as an exchange. So we are in hundreds of countries across the globe. We have millions of users. And I actually just checked an hour ago, and I'm going to show you, but Binance has processed about 385 billion Rand worth of transactions over the last 24 hours. So in the last day, we've helped people buy and sell about 0.4 trillion Rand worth of cryptocurrency. So it isn't just a fly-by-night operation. We are literally the world's leading platform for people who want to buy crypto, sell crypto, invest in cryptocurrency, and trade cryptocurrency, of course. So before we get into some real stories, we talk to some amazing people that have been involved in financial education. I'm just going to, show you how to get set up with Binance. And the reason that that's really important is because pretty much one of the only criteria to win some of this 35,000 Rand in crypto is for you to have a Binance account. So if you don't have a Binance account, you are out of the game on day one. So what I am going to do right now is, if you check the YouTube chat, Binance, so make sure it's the link that was shared by the actual Binance handle. It's now there. We've dropped a competition entry form that I'm just going to take you through, and everything that you need is on this form. So as you can see, instead of me just sharing my screen, the way that we've set this up is if you're already a Binance user, you can enter straight away. If you're not, there's a link right at the top of the form for you to enter today's giveaway. So you can literally register your Binance account in the next 30 seconds. All you do is click on that link, put in an email address or a cell phone number, confirm that, and you are completely good to go. Then let's get down to the giveaways, because I know that that's probably what drew a lot of people here today. I mean, who doesn't love free stuff? I love free stuff. So 10 people we're going to select live at the end of today's event who've completed this form, and each of you is going to win 300 Rand in BNB. So, BNB, I think at this time last year was about like 10% or less of what it is today. So who knows what that could be worth in the future, but it's still a lot of money today. And then because people always get so sad that they enter competitions and, they might not be the ones that are drawn, we actually have some guaranteed crypto for you today. So once you register on Binance, again, if you're already registered on Binance, you still qualify. All you've got to do is fill in your Binance user ID. So when you log into your account, you click on the little person icon, you click on dashboard, and you'll see that there's a number there right at the top of your Binance account. So you just copy that, paste it into the competition entry form, and we'll be able to know that it was you that actually entered the competition. So all you've got to do to get yourself some guaranteed cryptocurrency over the next few days or over the next 7 days is if you complete your first trade on Binance peer-to-peer, so you buy or sell any amount of crypto, we will give you 80 Rand cash back after those 7 days. So that's your first 80 Rand in free crypto that's already banked for you. And then if you go and use the Binance Convert portal, which we are also going to show you how to use later, you get another 80 Rand in crypto. So altogether over the next week, each one, or a lot of you could walk away with just under 500 Rand each in absolutely free cryptocurrency. It's not a bonus voucher. It's not some sort of discount on your fees. It's actual crypto. You can go and do whatever you want with it. So like I said, the campaign is going to be open for the next 7 days. And of course, this whole session is on YouTube. So if you're watching this after the live broadcast, you can still enter. And if you want to focus on some of our amazing speakers today, you can wait till after the session is over and you can enter then. So that is matter one out of the way. That is how you get your share in 35,000 Rand worth of crypto. And secondly, the Binance user ID that we request on the form, again, is if you haven't registered yet, you just register your account. Once you log in, you go to the little person icon, you click on dashboard, and you'll see right at the top of the page, there's a number there. All you do is you copy that number and you paste it into the competition entry form. So 300 Rand will be given away to 10 people at the end of today. I think we're giving away the rest of the money to over 350 people who complete those tasks. So although we're open for 7 days, you might want to make sure you get it done by tomorrow or the next day. So competition giveaways and how to enter is completely covered. If you don't have a Binance account, you can register one directly from the form. It'll take you probably about 30 seconds. But before I come in and give you some further, not really boring information, but just show you the mechanics of how to use the platform, we're going to help you to understand exactly what the opportunities in cryptocurrency are, and some real stories of some real people that we actually all know and love, especially if you're South African, that have gotten involved in this market. And they're going to give you some tips, some stories about when they got involved. So it's going to be far more interesting than just hearing me tell you how to use Binance. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce and bring up our first speaker of the day. A lot of you probably know him. If you're a South African or an African who's part of the FinMeUp community, he is your fearless leader. So FinMeUp is an amazing social media community and mobile application that teaches the youth about financial education, things like investing in the stock markets, things like saving for your retirement, etc., etc. So obviously, when you put youth together and you put investing together, everyone wants to know about the next Shiba Inu or Floki Inu or whatever it may be. But to give us a better insight into how the youth are getting involved in crypto and what they really see in it, I'm going to be bringing up Higgo van Biljon, the CEO of FinMeUp. So we are very honored to have Higgo with us today. And I personally am quite excited to hear what he has to say. So without further ado, let me bring up Higgo.
Hello. Thank you so much, Brenton. It's such a privilege to be on this Binance platform and to be able to share some stories, and looking forward to the other guests as well. So thanks to everyone for tuning in. So my name is Higgo van Biljon, and I am the founder of FinMeUp. We'll put the links to FinMeUp and my personal social media in the comments, so then you can go follow us and receive free financial education every day, and updates with investing, crypto, the markets, and more. So let's get into crypto. So what got me excited, funny story, it was, I think, 2013 or 2014 when Bitcoin was still below $200. I remember one of the smartest people that I knew told me, like, how much money do you have? I said, I don't have a lot. And he said, whatever you have, put it into Bitcoin. And obviously I was like, okay, this sounds a bit like a scam. I'm not going to do it. If I listened, I would have been much better off today. Let's just put it like that. So that was my first introduction to the crypto world. Was obviously to Bitcoin, the biggest one. And then 2017, when that FOMO got into the markets and people started talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto markets again. And that's the second time I actually just put money in without doing any research, without understanding anything about it, just because people were talking about it. And that was at the peak of the 2017 bull cycle, and obviously it crashed after that, or it just came down for the reasons it had to. Crypto is a volatile market. Nothing goes up linearly, and I bought at the top, didn't know where the top was, didn't know why I was buying, so I bought. It fell. I sold because I made an emotional decision because I didn't understand it. And in 2019 was my third introduction to crypto, when I was just like, maybe I should just research what it actually is. Why is there so many people behind these communities? And that's when I realized, maybe there is something really valuable about this. And smart people that I know started talking about it. And that's when I started actually doing research for the first time into the crypto world. And I'm still very much a beginner. There's so many experts who know all the things about how the Ethereum blockchain works, how Solana works, how this small cryptocurrency works, and that game and all of that. But behind all the difficult mechanics of cryptocurrencies, my first point is, how do you start as a beginner? I think everybody feels like a beginner in the crypto space, including myself. And I think the best way to go from that onwards is to actually just do your own research through different channels. And I think the most accessible channel to learn about cryptocurrencies, there's various courses on Udemy, on even Binance, there's a lot of tools. But I think YouTube is an extremely accessible way to learn about everything crypto, because there's so many communities and there's so many cryptos. You can't follow all of them. There are people behind the communities who actually put in a lot of effort to explain what they do. And the funny thing for me about crypto is, almost every person that I met who doesn't own any crypto, when you ask them, have you done any research, or how much research have you done about crypto? The answer is usually 1 or 2 hours. But all my friends and the people I know that I asked, how many hours have you spent researching it? And it's more than 15 hours. They all own crypto. And I think that's what really excites me. There's this deeper technology behind it. And I think sometimes the phrase cryptocurrency is wrong. For many cryptocurrencies, I'd rather like to see it as blockchain technologies. The amount of use cases for things like Ethereum and Solana, just to give you an example. So I'm also a musician, and for those who follow the music world, for you to make money from streams, you need to get a lot of streams, like millions and millions and millions of streams. All of a sudden, now with something like, let's say, the music world NFT, let's say Justin Bieber, for example, says he's going to release a new song, but is only releasing 10,000 units. And a lot about crypto is the limited supply. And once you have limited supply and continuous demand, the price increases. That's basic economics. So let's say Justin Bieber says he's just going to release 10,000 units of his song. All of a sudden, that song, first of all, people always want to look for new music. So that's the first point. People want to look for new music, so it's going to be traded. Secondly, it's actually an asset. You can listen to a song, you buy one of the 10,000 units of Justin Bieber's new song, you own a piece of that song, and that's part of cryptocurrencies. It gives you access to own a part of whatever, whether it's Decentraland, which is a metaverse, or whether it's Ethereum and the blockchain and the use cases, you own a piece of the movement. And now you can do this, for example, with music. And there's so many other artworks you can use it, like NFTs, as most of us know them. But back to the music. So now you've got ownership as well of the song. You can trade the song. There's limited supply, so it's an asset that will probably increase because, I mean, Justin Bieber is famous. There's only 10,000 units. People want to listen to the song, but now it's tradable. It's no longer for the artist, I need to get 10 millions and millions of streams. I can actually now release it as an asset, and it can be traded. And because I'm the owner, I can say I'm keeping 1,000 units for myself, for example. So there's so many use cases with crypto. Another thing, for example, the metaverse, and there's a lot of excitement about the metaverse. And the same smart person that told me about Bitcoin in 2014, 2013, when I spoke about him about the metaverse, I'm like, do you think Facebook is going to dominate the metaverse? He said he would not invest in anything that is not decentralized. If you think about the metaverse, Facebook has competitors and, other stock market listed or other stock listed entities. They are competition with them. But in the metaverse, the concept of the metaverse is that you will be able to walk from the Nike store to Adidas to go to Bali or whatever in one world. So if it's decentralized, there's no person at the top that says, no, that company can't be here, that company can't be here. So that's the other aspect of cryptocurrencies that I really like, is the decentralized theme. Same with decentralized finances. I'm no expert in that, but to every clever person that I've spoken to in the last months, or the last few months, they all say we need to watch the DeFi space. Now, I don't know what that entails. Maybe somebody is smart, so they can say in the comments. But there's so many things that are happening. I think the next decade, there's going to be a lot of crap as well. Cryptocurrencies that will fail, NFT projects that will fail. But there's also, in my opinion, going to be a lot that work. And I think if you look at the younger generation, and I mean high school kids, primary school kids of today, they are all about games and their avatars and playing in a decentralized world. And I think that is the first hook to when they grow older and then actually becoming part of the cryptocurrency behind the metaverse. Or I don't know if that makes sense, but the bottom line is, I think the metaverse that is going to succeed, there's going to be various, obviously. The same as we've got different social media channels today. we've got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. I think the same will apply to metaverses. There's going to be different metaverses. There's going to be centralized metaverses. Nike is getting involved, Facebook is involved. There's so many centralized companies that's involved, but the decentralized cryptocurrency metaverse space is what really excites me. I think it is still very, very early. And that brings me to my next point. Many people think now, look, Bitcoin is near all-time highs, even though not anymore, but it's still much higher than it was last year. Ethereum is high. All the cryptocurrencies are high. And people are asking themselves, is it too late to get in? And I also asked myself that question, but then I realized, just quickly ask yourself, how many people do you know in your life, whether it's friends or family or business partners, are invested in cryptocurrencies? How many people do you know that really understand cryptocurrencies? And I think once you see how few people actually is already part of it, is when you realize, okay, look, maybe we are so early. So my biggest cryptocurrency investment is Ethereum. I heard another person saying, when you want to know where to invest in, something like Ethereum or Solana, is follow the developers. And most of the projects that I see is just Ethereum. And I know, for example, Solana is much more, or they've got a competitive advantage as well, more transactions, cheaper transactions. But my biggest investment is Ethereum, just because I think I understand it the best. I try to learn more about Ethereum every single day, but the bottom line is, I think we are still early. And if cryptocurrencies do become what we think it will become, and I don't know if it's too big to fail at the moment. If we look at how many people is really involved, the communities behind the crypto projects, the actual technology behind cryptocurrencies, and that's why I call it rather blockchain technologies, because the use cases is blockchain, and everybody is saying blockchain is the future. And the same people that say blockchain is the future sometimes say, cryptocurrencies is a scam. But that's why I think cryptocurrencies isn't the right word for all of them, but the technology behind some of the cryptocurrencies is just amazing. So to wrap it all together, what I like about cryptocurrencies is, first of all, the decentralized theme, that the participants own the land or own the technology, not the technology, but they own the movement. The second aspect that I enjoy or like is the actual technology behind it and the use cases behind it. It's the next level of the internet. It makes so many things easier. Even in FinMeUp, we are busy researching some blockchain technologies, if I can call it that. And cryptocurrencies is for sometimes the answer. And it's strange to say cryptocurrencies because I'd rather want to say blockchain, but it excites me. And what I see is more and more people are getting into it. And as soon as people do 15 hours plus of research, whether it be on YouTube or doing courses or reading books, there's so many books out there. The future is exciting. The next 10 years, so much is going to change. We're going to see what DeFi is going to look like. We're going to see what the metaverse is going to look like. And behind all of these big themes lies the technology behind it, which is the Ethereums, the Solanas. And Bitcoin, what I love about Bitcoin is the limited supply. It doesn't necessarily have all use cases like Ethereum. And that's probably why I own more Ethereum than Bitcoin. But overall, the entire space is extremely exciting for me. That's why Ethereum is my biggest investment. And I'm seeing with my friends, I'm seeing with business partners, I'm seeing with various people. As soon as they do research, they get excited and they look into the different fields of cryptocurrencies like NFTs, like just buying the tokens, all of that. And once they follow that, they get into the communities of that, and all of a sudden their passion just grows about it. And where there's passion, there's a movement that has potential. And I'm seeing various projects with massive communities, and communities are essential for any company's growth. If you've got a strong community, you've got a massive boost. So personally, I'm very excited about the cryptocurrency space. I wouldn't necessarily put my grandmother's savings into it, but personally, I'm invested. I'm very excited. not necessarily just to see what the Bitcoin price does, but actually what the Ethereums, the Solanas, the Polkadots, the technologies behind that, what they actually provide to the society overall. So I enjoy what's going on. And lastly, if you're a beginning investor, just watch YouTube videos. We'll start posting more about cryptocurrencies as time goes on. We actually have a cryptocurrency course. The first time in 2019, that was actually early 2020 when I did that course. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So I'm excited about cryptocurrencies and the technologies behind it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Higgo. And I just want to remind everyone, it's usually us crazy crypto degens, as they call us, that are always pining on about Ethereum and Web3 and the technology. But just to remind you, FinMeUp and Higgo are not crypto native people. So, as you heard, some of the smartest people that he knows are punting the same things. So, Higgo, we generally ask the speakers what their bag is made up of, but I think you've already answered that very, very nicely. So
I'll
make sure.
Please go. So Ethereum is my biggest. Second is Bitcoin, because I think if Bitcoin struggles, the other cryptocurrencies also tend to struggle. So it's almost like the ETF almost of cryptocurrencies. It's not, but for now that's how it works. But other investments of it's very, very small of my portfolio. It's just a few punts here and there, a few projects that I think has potential. So for example, the one is a game that I think, so I want to be part of the NFT space, but I have no knowledge on how to buy a good NFT. So I bought a token called D-Race, which is part, you can buy NFT horse and then you can race with the horse, and there's a big pipeline for that. So I just bought a bit of that. Then I have a bit of Polkadot, a bit of Chainlink, VeChain. So just a bit of everything, because it's almost like a VC space now where you have to punt a few, because who knows what's going to happen in 10 years. But as soon as I do research about all of them, it just excites me.
So brilliant. So look, I think that's actually a very astute comparison there. It's like venture capital, right? Where some of them might go to zero, some of them might, go 100x. Maybe you heard it from the finance man himself. Diversification is definitely key. And then, Higgo, just to finish up, we've actually got quite a few people coming through on YouTube, on Facebook, asking, what is FinMeUp? How can we find out more? How can we follow you? So how do people follow FinMeUp?
Yeah, so we're on all social media platforms, not that big on Facebook though. We'll get into that, but Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever we post daily content. We've got WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. So you just have to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, FinMeUp, one word. So Fin for finance, me for me, and up, upwards in life. So FinMeUp, and you'll find us there, and the link to our different channels. And yeah, our vision is to clear the way to financial independence for our users. So we're working very hard to do that.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for joining us, Higgo. We'll come back to you during the last section, which is our panel. So you've heard about FinMeUp, exactly how you can follow them. You've heard that it's not just us crazy crypto people that think, things like Ethereum are the future. Even the traditional finance people are starting to see. So we're starting to win some hearts over. So I see a couple of you in the comments were actually asking, a couple of basics on Binance. So firstly, I just want to take you through the competition entry form. So quick recap, at the end of today, we're going to do it live. We're actually going to use this cool tool here where we get to spin and pick live names, so we're being fair. So 10 of you today will win 300 Rand each in BNB. Then over the next 7 days, the first 250 people to make their first trade on P2P, which I'm going to show you now, you get a guaranteed 80 Rand or $5 cash back. And then the first 100 people to use the Binance Convert portal for over $100 will get a $5 cashback as well. So altogether, there's 160 Rand of guaranteed crypto for you over the next 7 days. And if you aren't an existing Binance user, all you do is click on this link and you can register your account in just a few seconds. So as you would imagine, working for the company for almost 2 years, being in crypto for, I think, like 6 or 7 years now, I am already a Binance user. So once you register your account, or if you're an existing Binance user, you'll just log in like anything else, Facebook, username, password, just like Facebook, etc. And to find this user ID that I was talking about here, and remember, you can do this after today's session, if you just want to participate in the guaranteed giveaways. But all you do is you log in, you land on this page, you come to the little person icon, you click dashboard, and then right at the top here, you'll see a user ID. So just copy that number, whatever it is, paste it in here, give us your name so we know who you are, and tell us how you heard about today's event. And this is voluntary if you want to answer. What would you like us to teach you about in crypto next? And that's it. If you complete these tasks, your Binance rewards will be distributed directly into your account after the next 7 days. So before we get on to the rest of our amazing speakers, today was all about the cryptocurrency basics. So what I'm going to be showing you today is the basics of how to use Binance peer-to-peer. So Binance peer-to-peer and to skip all the frilly stuff is a way where Binance acts as the middleman between you buying and selling cryptocurrency between other local people. So you can buy a number of different cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Tether, Ethereum, BNB, BUSD. But I'm basically going to show you the simplest way to use this as a way to get your money in and out of Binance. So just to humble brag a bit, on Binance P2P, we've got over 53 different local currencies. We've processed over $10 billion worth of transactions. And the main way that people use Binance P2P is, one, like I'm going to show you now, as a fiat gateway. Number two is as a business. So I'm going to show you a bit about that as well. And number three is it's one of the fastest and cheapest way to send money to over 50 different countries. So we support over 50 local currencies like Nigerian Naira, Kenyan shilling, Russian ruble, US dollars. So it's one of the fastest and cheapest way to send money anywhere in the world. So the basic premise of Binance P2P, which is for the beginner side, is it's a way for you to buy and sell crypto with your Chipper cash balance, with your FNB account, with your ABSA account, with pretty much any payment method that you choose. And some of the benefits of using Binance P2P versus sort of traditional other local exchanges, for example, where you just do direct bank deposits to their accounts, is all of the crypto here is kept in escrow. So it means that until both parties are completely happy, Binance locks up all the crypto that you're going to buy, for example. So it's 100% safe. Then all of your payments are between users. So it looks like you're just paying somebody else, for example. And there's zero fees to use Binance P2P. And because you're choosing basically ads, you get to choose the price that you want to buy and sell at, provided someone is willing to buy and sell at that price. And also there's no transaction limits. So if you're a whale and you want to buy or sell 10 million Rand worth of Shiba, for example, or BUSD. You can do it. The only limits that are imposed on P2P are limits that you impose on yourself. So luckily, we don't need the slides for us to figure out how to use Binance P2P. I'm actually going to show you live exactly what it is and how it works. But before I do that, I just want to quickly check the comment section. Okay. So I am not a YouTuber. This is exactly the alternative. So look, we're busy setting up some stuff that's going to allow us to bring back all of those services in the near future. But especially as a South African or as a Kenyan, as a Ghanaian, this is the best way for you to get your local currency money into Binance, and for you to get your profits, hopefully your profits, out of Binance back into your bank account or your mobile money wallet or whatever it may be. So let me share my screen once again. So quick recap, you have registered a Binance account, you went and filled in your user ID on the entry form, and now you want to do the first task, right? You want to buy yourself some cryptocurrency. So because of your IP address, ZAR will already be selected, South African Rands. If it's not, and it's USD, for example, all you do is you just come here and you change it to ZAR, South African Rands. And now you'll see the only available option here is peer-to-peer trading. So instead of showing you slides, etc., I'm going to actually show you how it works, why it's safe, and some tips to keep yourself 100% safe. So on P2P, I can buy any of these currencies, or I can sell any of these currencies for local rands using any payment method that I want. So for example, if I want to buy cryptocurrency and I want to use FNB e-wallet, for example, or I want to use a bank transfer. So from my ABSA account, I want to pay someone, for example. I'll just come here, click bank transfer, ZAR is selected. And the best way to keep yourself problem-free, because you're always safe because of escrow, but instead of like maybe trading with someone who doesn't check their account for a couple of hours to release or something silly like that, is select this box that says only show merchant ads. And merchants are these people on Binance P2P with these yellow ticks. And what these yellow ticks mean is we've gone and we've collected their IDs, their proof of address. We've got a security deposit from these people, and they've shown us that they've actually got a very good and honest trading history on a number of other platforms. So you can see that Mr. Duckles Trader Duck, for example, has completed over 1,005 orders in the last 30 days with a 98% completion rate. So this is how you make sure that you're 100% safe. And this person will sell you up to 150,000 Rand worth of USDT and as little as 2,500 Rand. So they won't sell you less than 2.5, but they'll sell it to you at 16 Rand 59, which is very close to the rate on other local exchanges for stablecoin, for example. So all I do is I click buy USDT. I put in, for example, I want to buy 2,800 Rand. It tells me, okay, you'll get $168.77. And as soon as I click buy USDT, so I don't want to open the trade and annoy the guy, but as soon as I click this, you can see Absa Bank, he's got a mercantile bank account, he's got a standard bank account. So you can select where you want to pay. So if you're a Standard Bank client, you can pay into a Standard Bank account and it'll clear immediately. And this person, again, who's a verified merchant, as soon as your money shows up in the account, so it's usually done within, we can actually check here. Average release time is within 120 minutes. So within 2 hours of you opening the trade, he'll release that. And for a lot of these merchants, it's shorter. It's like 10 minutes, for example. And as soon as he releases it, that $116 you paid, so you log into your Standard Bank account, he gives you a Standard Bank account number, etc. It's all loaded on the platform. You go and do an EFT, and as soon as he confirms, your USDT will be available to you in your spot wallet. So don't try and look at my balances. This is the account I use for webinars, etc. So as soon as he releases the fund, it'll be available for you in your spot wallet. So what you've essentially done now is I've deposited 2,800 Rand into my Binance account, and I've got $116 to trade with. And if I want to get money from Binance back into my bank account, or from crypto back into my bank account, all I do is I got to convert everything to USDT first, which I'll show you next. And I just click on sell and keep myself safe. I click merchant ads. So SA Trader will pay me 16 Rand 32 for every dollar that I sell them. So if I went and bought something with my $116, it went up to $200. I can come and sell it to them here. They'll put it in my bank account. So you can see I don't have that there. And I've got my bank account loaded here already. And then as soon as I see that money show up in my bank account, I click confirm. And I've now sold my cryptocurrency and I've got the money in my bank account. So Binance P2P is just the easiest way for you to get your money onto Binance and off of Binance very simply. And Binance's escrow system keeps you completely safe. So a lot of you are probably thinking, well, what if I make a payment to this person and they just don't click on confirm? Well, if after like 30 minutes, for example, this person hasn't clicked confirm, all you do is you just click the dispute button. One of the Binance staff will jump into the chat. You'll send them your proof of payment and they'll release the funds manually to your account within an hour or two. So the platform is completely safe, but as an extra measure, if you always click this only show merchant ads button, these are basically people who, remember in the deck you saw the second part was you can use Binance P2P to make money. These are people whose business it is to buy and sell on this market. So again, they're always going to be awake, they're always going to be available. And you can see you can come and choose your rate. And a lot of the time it depends on how much you want to buy. So this person will sell you as little as 150 Rand, but you can see you've got to pay a lot more for every dollar than if you wanted to buy 2,500 Rand, for example. So step one to get your money in and out of Binance is using Binance P2P. And if you complete the form and complete your first trade on Binance P2P in the next 7 days, we will automatically give you 80 Rand cash back in crypto. So that is giveaway number one. But you might be wondering, okay, so you're teaching me how to buy this stable coin, which is basically like $1, but what do I do then? Well, again, you logged into your Binance account. You've now got some USDT or some stable coins or some crypto in your fiat and spot wallet. What if you want to use them to buy something else? So let's pretend I've just gone and bought some USDT, which is basically like dollars, from P2P. I can now come to trade, convert. So you don't have to look at any charts, don't have to place any orders or anything like that. And I can literally come and choose any cryptocurrency that I want. So Elon's favorite Dogecoin, if I wanted to buy some Dogecoin with, for example, that 2,800 Rand that I deposited, I'll just come here, I'll click max, preview conversion. So it says I'll get 138.8 Doge. I say, okay. And that's it. I now have Dogecoin. So in those simple 2 steps, I've deposited my money from my local bank account to Binance using P2P, one. And number two, I've used my US dollars that I purchased on Binance to buy whatever cryptocurrencies I wanted. So as you can see, this is the Doge that I've literally just bought. Here it is in my wallet. And if one of these go to the moon, all I do is I go back to that convert portal. I do the opposite and sell it for dollars or USDT. And this is literally how easy it is. I'm doing it live in front of you. So I just bought some Doge. Now I just sold some Doge. I can come back to P2P. I can come to the sell side. So I've got too many things open. I can come to the sell side and I can just sell my USDT for 16 Rand 32 per USDT. And my profits are now directly into my bank account. So I know it's a lot of information to digest. That's why if you come to P2P, there's a whole bunch of tutorials that guide you through it exactly. The entire recording is also on YouTube. So all you have to do is come and watch it and go through it step by step together with the video. But as I promised, in between all of my boring stints, there will be some very, very interesting guests that we have for you today. So probably, in fact, our guests are so great today, I can't even say the one I'm most excited about. But one that I have personally been looking forward to very, very much, someone that I actually discovered by chance, is a crypto hodler of note. And someone I'm very certain, especially if you're from South Africa, you will all know very, very well. So without further ado, I'll be welcoming our next esteemed crypto hodler. You might know him as a comedian, but we know him as a hodler. And that is Carvin H. Goldstone. So welcome, Carvin. Carvin, I think you're just on mute. Just on mute. Let me.
How's it going?
Here we go. Welcome, welcome. So, Carvin, your session is one I've been excited about only because you've been telling stories of how you've been converting the likes of magicians and comedians across Africa. How some of those small altcoin holdings that you picked up a couple of years ago have done very, very well for you. So instead of me telling all of your stories, let me hand over to you to share a bit of your crypto journey with us. So over to you, Carvin.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Carvin. My name's Carvin H. Goldstone. Brenton asked me if the H stands for hodler. No, it's just one of those things my parents threw in the middle to make it interesting. So how did I come into crypto? And people know me as a joke man. I was a journalist for 15 years. So that's my backstory. And I'm sitting here listening to Brenton talking. And he's offering you guys all this money and how you can have 100 Rand and 80 Rand. Guys, don't worry about all that. There's way more money in crypto if you're prepared to hold. If you're prepared to hodl for a while, if you're prepared to invest. So I was probably one of those skeptics very early on, because I'm a skeptic probably by nature. I was a journalist, so you want to investigate everything first before you get involved. But I've been in crypto for about 5 years. And my Binance account is probably about nearly 5 years old. So I've been on the Binance platform way before it ticked off, like it really started running. And the reason I know that is because when I first got involved and first held my first few coins on Binance, and I was trying to convince all my friends to get involved, it got to a point where Binance became so popular, I would send them a message and say, did you get the account? And they actually couldn't get into Binance. Binance had sent out messages saying they're not accepting any more accounts at this point because the system was overrun. And that's because when crypto entered our space and kind of spilled, I don't say it's in the mainstream, it kind of spilled over from the geek space into the mainstream space. I don't think even the big exchanges realized that that spillover would shut down their systems, and it took a while. And now you can get into Binance quite easily. But in those early days, with all that interest, it was a absolute rush to get into the best platforms. And Binance was the best platform. It's the only platform where I've made serious money, and I trade on 8 different platforms, and I'll go through a few of my experiences on some of those platforms and how they better forgotten, because it's the Wild West, and especially 4 or 5 years ago, it was definitely the Wild West. I bought my first Bitcoin, my first full coin, for just under $80,000. In fact, I didn't even really know how to buy it, but I'd done enough research to know that I should buy this thing. Okay, I told all my friends I bought a Bitcoin, and you're like, "Oh, you stupid! How can you buy it? You're buying nothing. You just put your money in nothing." I was like, "No, actually, I think I did the right thing." And at that point, you didn't even know where to buy Bitcoin. So I bought it on plus 500, or at least I thought I did. And then I went and checked. After doing some more research, I realized I didn't buy it. All I did was betted the full price of a Bitcoin on Bitcoin going up. So I took it out, and then I found a local exchange. And so I started trading locally. And then I discovered Binance. And then when my world opened up to Binance, everything went crazy for me, because on some of the local platforms, you had 1 coin, 2 coins, maybe 4 coins. Some coins that had been around for maybe really 3-4 years, but were not really moving and doing much. And then on Binance, you had coins that were really starting to tick. You had coins in the infancy. Talk about Doge now, how much Doge is worth now. I probably held like 400,000 Doge at one point in my crypto journey, because nobody wanted Doge. It was like literally a meme coin that was just to make fun. I kind of bought it thinking, you never know, it might turn, and then afterwards it doesn't turn, and you kind of think, oh, let's get rid of the stuff it's holding, because you're basically holding your capital in something that won't move. And my first double and then 4x was with XRP. XRP was a lot of research, Ripple, and the real world use. And you kind of, especially as a starter, you can get caught up in the back end and the real world use and the potential and the development team and how this is going to change the world. Sometimes that's not the right way to kind of go about trading, in my opinion or in my experience, because some of those projects will take a long time to be realized, and the profits will take a long time to be realized. So while your finance or your investment is tied up in a project that might explode, you could be trading in some other projects that are already on the uptick. And that was basically my strategy. So I had my first Bitcoin. I dropped most of it in Binance and a few other exchanges, and literally sat for hours consuming as much information as I could on crypto. I've got books and books on crypto, but I spend loads of time following all the top crypto YouTubers. And this is now, you must know, 4 or 5 years ago, there was like a handful of really good people. And then people were like at the same level as me, like they were 3-4 months in and they were deep. And things just started going up, and I started learning about different Telegram groups where you can kind of be part of the community of the coin that you're following, because that's also important. So you don't just trade in a silo or in a bubble on your own, but form a part of a Telegram community. If you're in Africa, we need to have better communities around some of the coins we invested in. And when there's information being circulated, you kind of understand what's about to take place. And I suppose because I was a journalist for about 15 years, I had a slight advantage in anticipating movements of coins, because I knew how news worked and I knew how media worked. So I could almost anticipate, look at the media around that was building up, and without even referring to other YouTubers or other bloggers I would be able to kind of assess, oh, there's going to be a bit of a movement based on what this CEO is saying, or what new node has been opened on this platform. And then what would happen is I'd basically dangerous trade, if that makes sense. I would day trade. So some people hold, and you do have your portion of your portfolio that you hold, but then I would day trade certain things, and kind of, because look, you could be in a coin that goes up 40, 50, 100% in a day. And then it might just do it for that day. So you might get anything, this is the one, And for one day it does that, and it just plateaus, and you're stuck in this coin plateauing, asking yourself, is it ever gonna change? And sometimes it doesn't change. I've been in enough coins that went flat to tell you that holding onto something is a risk. It just might never change. This might be it. So my first few sort of investments that really turned over was trying to follow coins based on available news. Verge at the time. So before, you must realize that before Elon Musk could manipulate the market with tweets and stuff, there was another guy named John McAfee who manipulated the market for quite a bit, in particular on coins like Verge. And it was, but if you were in it, and so coincidentally for me, these coins had arrived on Binance at a similar time that I arrived. So TRX and Verge and a few others, POE, and they had arrived literally under 1 cent, like struggling to even hit the 1 cent mark. So I would, as I'm saying, I'm a dangerous trader. I would buy like 300,000 or something. I wouldn't be conservative. I never believed in conservative trading. So I'd buy like 300,000 TRX, 300,000 Verge. I'm a bit more conservative now. Also, the cost of each coin is a bit higher in general, so you can't go crazy without having a lot of capital. I just go in full, and then sometimes, you know, if it goes up, it goes up, and if it goes down, the amount of investment, a lot of investment goes on, especially for a young trader, like for a new trader. But I used to always like move. Now, the beauty of the platform today is that you can park money. So you've got BUSD or USD Tether, and like things aren't going well, you're not sure which way the market's going, you can actually take your investments and park it there until you kind of see where the market, until you're comfortable, and jump back in. It was very difficult to park before because, you know, you'd kind of, the idea was that you'd park it in Binance if you're in Bitcoin, you'd park your stuff in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin from the beginning of its inception always goes up. So you'd kind of park it there. It's probably the same. But then Bitcoin would drop and you try parking Ethereum. And then BNB came out. I remember when the BNB Binance coin first landed. Some of you don't realize that there was a moment when the BNB coin landed on Binance, and we all looked at it and thought, what's this? So they've got their own coin? It'll never work. And we were buying, I remember buying the BNB coin, maybe $6. I think I was paying for BNB coins, or maybe even less. But I think between 6 and 12 was like an average. Hold a few of these BNBs and you should be okay. Or it might work, it might not work. And you know what BNB is today, right? BNB is they call it the Ethereum killer. Well, at least in some circles that I work and move. BNB is the coin that might just be the one. Everyone's wondering, does Bitcoin have something that will overtake it? BNB just might be that coin. And if you look at its journey and how much use it has, and the fact that it's the Binance coin, and if you look at how Binance has evolved, BNB is definitely a coin to hold. Everyone should hold BNB. And what was happening for me was, because I invested so big in certain things, I was literally, I'll give you in numbers, I would go sleep and wake up the next morning, because the trading was also determined by different time zones. So you could almost tell that at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a bit of movement. They're waking up in some part of the world, or they've started trading in some part of the world, and you'd actually see spikes. So I would kind of follow these sleep patterns around the world to try to see where the movement was. And you'd go to sleep and you'd wake up and you'd be like, you'd have made like 200,000 Rand in profit overnight on coins that just kept flying up. And of course, the key to maintaining your goals is to set, like, different points at which you make sure you get out of your trade. Because if you stay in your trades for too long, you do lose your gains. And it's happened to me many, many times where you've made insane gains and just sat there. And when you come back, you've lost a bit of those gains. You have to develop a strategy where you prepare to take a loss, because nobody absolutely buys at the bottom and sells at the top. It's like, if you've done it, it's by pure luck, but nobody actually buys at the bottom and sells at the top. Everyone sells short from the top. So you're not alone. And panic selling when things is dropping never helped anybody. because you always lose in that moment. And 2021, 2020, 2021 in particular has been a year of up and down. And I've got friends that I've got involved in crypto over the years. I've got like tons of friends, other performers, comedians, magicians, whatever, that I've convinced to throw their money into cryptocurrency and into finance. And when they're in there, this is the problem. They panic, like many of you do, because they now see the money that they've put in like dipping. And as it dips, as it starts dipping down, they start contacting me. What should I do? What should I do? Should I pull it all out? And I'm like, just calm down, just relax. Which coins are you in? And they'll explain this one, that one. And I'm not allowed to give financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. But what I do say is, look, I'm in Bitcoin. I'm gonna hold Bitcoin for this moment. I'm in Ethereum. I'm gonna hold Ethereum for this moment. But I think I'm gonna sell a little bit of my cake. I think I'm gonna sell my pancake. I'm just gonna. I can afford to let that go. I'm gonna get rid of a little bit of this chain link, just the way the market is at the moment. But I'm gonna hold this coin. So you develop your own strategy, and I developed my own strategy, and it proved to be, like especially in the early days, I went from 1 Bitcoin to 4 Bitcoins, and that was all through trading on Binance. I lost money by investing in some exchanges that went, I don't know what you call it, went broke, or disappeared, or scammed. I'll give you in particular, and I'm not going to mention the name of the exchange, but I invested some money in coins that you could only buy on an exchange in New Zealand. And one day I came back to look at my my account, and on the homepage of the exchange was a sign, was a letter about legal action, and investors can contact this person. And I was like, oh gosh, so it's all gone. And yeah, that was it. It was all gone. I'm laughing about it now, but I was crying back then. Yeah, and so for any young person, this masterclass is about early investors, the basics of cryptocurrency. The basics of cryptocurrency, as I understand them, is do the research on the process, because the buying and selling of cryptocurrency can be a bit of a adrenaline up and down, and you can see the money going up, going down. You don't sleep. So understand that new world that you're going to enter. You're not going to sleep as much as you did if you start trading like frequently. If you're buying a few things, you're holding, you're going to open up your account in 4 or 5 years time, different game altogether. And lots of people have done that. I've got friends who I got involved in crypto 4 years ago who are only opening their accounts now. And even though it's not at the height that it was maybe like a few months ago, it's still way higher than it was. And of course, some of those coins also disappear. Like, they were there and they were gone. I used to own a coin called Salt, and couldn't find Salt, and realized it was, become Ivyn. And we were buying Salt for like $8. And I'm not sure what Ivyn is right now, but when I remember the first time I opened it, so Ivyn was like $400. I was like, I should have held this. I should have held this. Like, if I had like 1,000 of that, it would be like times 500, it would be $500,000. Wow, I wouldn't be doing jokes anymore. But anyway, that's my intersection with cryptocurrency, and I've maintained a presence on most of those exchanges, except the ones that have disappeared because they ran away with the money and threw away the key. And I keep certain profiles open because there's certain bits or certain investments that I don't want to touch. So as we move forward, and as Binance expands and more people get involved in Binance, with so many different ways of now trading your money, P2P, conversions, it's a whole new game. You don't have to be stuck in any coin. That was the biggest challenge for me and for everyone who came up in the early stages of cryptocurrency, was being stuck in your investment and holding on to it, even when you kind of know it might not be the one. So don't be risky though with money you can't afford to lose, because that will hurt. It will hurt. And from my own personal experience, it has hurt to see money that you couldn't really afford to lose doing funny things just because you thought that you are ace, you know how to read Fibonacci lines, you know when the breakouts are coming. So you're like, I'm the guy, I can tell you now, put it in here, it's got 2 more cycles to go up. And then it doesn't have 2 more cycles to go up because, you know, these things are also determined by moods and people and legislation. So every time legislation comes, it affects it. And the pandemic, for those of you who were invested at the beginning of the pandemic, you would have seen the numbers, your portfolios disintegrate in front of your eyes. And for those of you sitting on the sidelines, that was the best opportunity to get involved. And some did and some didn't. And what a year 2020 turned out to be for many people. 2021, the continued rise of the crypto space. Now we're in the NFT space, and so it becomes much more broad. And the introduction of cryptocurrencies into like the mainstream or into your family stream, let's call it your family stream, where people around the table are talking. The best thing you can do is do as much reading up as possible, even if it's just on the things that you want. So I'm a big Cardano fan. I've always been a Cardano fan. I first bought Cardano probably about 4 years ago. I remember that stage we were paying, it could have been 12 cents for Cardano, maybe even less, maybe 3 cents or 12 cents, but I feel like 12 cents was the number. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, this feels like a lot of money to pay for this Cardano stuff. But I believe in Cardano, I believe in the project, believe in the dev team. I don't try to let that get in the way. That's my long play, is Cardano. A bit of Ethereum is always good. Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the big daddy. You can't be in the game without having a little bit of Bitcoin in your portfolio. Bitcoin, make sure that your portfolio is like legit, because when Bitcoin moves, it pulls the whole market with it. So Bitcoin is a great investment. And then as you go through, you know, some of the DeFi coins you can get involved with. Of course, this new world we're entering of the metaverse, coins that speak Decentraland, that speak into that space. Those are always things that I want to be close to before they pop off. Yeah. I'm gonna get Brenton back.
Carvin, I absolutely always love listening to your stories. In fact, I can actually see from the comments on YouTube, especially, you know, we talk about school fees in crypto, and especially, you know, the early days. There weren't webinars like this. There weren't platforms where people were teaching you things, and you very, very often got burnt. So I think everyone's quite lucky that, you know, they've got things like this webinar today. I'm actually going to show everyone in the next few minutes an absolute hack that's going to cut down all of your learning by 10x. But before that, I think Carvin taught us some very valuable lessons. So both Higgo and Carvin, I think, reiterated the need to research. Do your research, understand what's going on, and then two, something that I had to learn the hard way myself is, you know, it's always good to have a larger portion of your portfolio that you hold or you hodl if you're in crypto. And then, you know, you want to do that fun stuff and, you know, play around with some things that you're sort of punting at. And you can day trade and use a bit of your funds there as well. So no need to, you know, sort of decide to be one or the other. And I'm going to show you how you can learn to be a day trader, a swing trader after this. But 3 questions, or one statement or 3 questions, Carvin. First one is, everyone's been asking for your Twitter handle. So how do they follow you?
I don't have a Twitter handle. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok even. I used to have a Twitter handle, and then I found it was so violent on Twitter. People ready to take you out at any moment. I was like, I don't need this drama in my life. You can follow me on Facebook, Carvin H. Goldstone, the comedian. I'll be doing a lot of crypto videos. So you guys can follow me there. That's probably the best place. It's where there's the most action. Instagram, I'm live, but yeah, I'm on Facebook. That's my platform of choice.
Brilliant, brilliant. So you can catch Carvin on Meta's Facebook. And speaking of the Meta brand, one of the audience was asking, what are your thoughts on the metaverse and NFTs? Do you think it's all hype, or do you think it's worth jumping into?
Okay, so this is one area that I am. I won't say skeptical, but I'm kind of watching the play, because I would say about 4 years ago, there was a similar break away from crypto, and we entered the space of crypto kitties. They were called crypto kitties, and essentially there was the same idea. There were these little kittens that you could buy and exchange, and some of them became really expensive, and the numbers went up. And and then afterwards it kind of died down, and you kind of thought, should I have got involved? Did I miss it? Did I dodge a bullet? And so I'm kind of seeing, usually those are the first signs that something else bigger is coming. So it might not be the thing. So are NFTs the thing? Is NFTs, or is NFTs just the beginning of something else that we haven't even figured out yet that's about to hit us? Any which way, understanding crypto kitties, I felt, put me in a better place for when NFTs landed. So learning as much as you can about NFTs, there's no harm in that, because when we hit the next phase, because when crypto kitties were huge, no one thought NFTs was even like on the horizon. It didn't exist in anyone's mind as far as we were concerned. So the next big thing that might hit us in 2-3 years, that's not even thought of yet. So for right now, NFTs is not a bad space to kind of get your knowledge up, get involved. Binance has got a bit of a trade there. You can do a bit of buying and selling, and you're gonna get burnt maybe a little bit, but this is how you're gonna learn. Is you're gonna kind of research, buy, because one of the things about crypto is actually sometimes you buy something you don't really understand, but once you've got it, you kind of forced to go look up what is this thing about. Go look at its market cap. Like, that was the big thing for me, was I wouldn't buy a coin unless I understood its circulation, what the circulation was, and what the market cap was, and the relationship between the circulation and the market cap. And once you understand the relationship between the circulation and the market cap, you can kind of stop yourself being burned too much, because sometimes you'll buy something thinking that's a good buy, and you realize it's got a high circulation, meaning it's already done quite a bit of running by the time you got to it. Does it have more space to grow? Probably its best days are behind it, if that makes any sense. So, it's not too late, but some coins, they've 100x already. And another 100x is like, it's hard to predict. So you look early, and you go on your different CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, have a full understanding of what you're buying, and then you say, okay, I'll get in there. So when it comes to NFTs, I think me personally, I'm still looking for that NFT that I say, okay, this is the one that I'm going to throw my bag in. Because if you look at some of the NFT prices, the truth is the majority of us can't get involved at that level of the market. The prices are just too high. So we have to almost play in a different space and, almost back the right NFT.
100%. So I'll actually give the audience a little overview of the NFT marketplace after this. But Carvin, last question. So 3 coins that you would hold for the next 5 years that are outside of the top 10 coins.
3 coins that I'd hold that are outside of the top 10 coins. Yes, this is tricky, because I think you want to hold something that's linked to another project. So any of the ones in the cake ecosystem, I think that's a good buy. The ones that are out the top 10, that's not a bad space to be. A DeFi coin that hasn't popped yet. I can't think of one offhand that hasn't popped. But if you find a DeFi coin that hasn't popped, that's where you should definitely be looking at. And here's an interesting thing. I haven't come across a coin that what Aave was in those early stages, which was a coin that allowed you, or lend, that allowed you to lend money within the crypto space. So if you're outside the top 10, something that's in the DeFi space, definitely the cake ecosystem, and I would say a lend coin. So whichever ones you want to go for.
Very nice.
Those are my plays.
Carvin also kept his fingers clean there, because we know one of those in those sectors will come, and he can be like, I told you. So, Carvin, thank you so much for joining us today. Like you said, a lot of the speakers are going to be doing a lot with us going forward. So you'll probably be seeing a lot more of them, a lot more of me too. Not that anybody cares, but
we Carvin, do care. We care.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can catch Carvin, a lot of that crypto content as well, on his Facebook channel, on Instagram, Carvin H Goldstone. So Carvin, thank you so much. Brilliant. So I promised you guys, I think it was about 10 minutes ago, that I'm going to show you a complete hack. So I've shown you how to get your money in and out of Binance as an African, whether you're in Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. I've shown you how you can use your USDT balances to buy anything you want without ever looking at a chart. So using the Binance Convert portal. And now I'm going to show you the easiest, best, and safest way to pretty much learn anything within the crypto space that you want to learn, including what is day trading? How do I become a day trader? What is technical analysis? How do I earn interest on my crypto balances? Like I said, pretty much anything you can think of. And that is Binance Academy. So you can literally go to the Binance website, choose the Academy option right at the bottom here, or you can just Google Binance Academy. But Binance Academy is a website and also a mobile app. So even when you're on the move, you can do short little 5-minute lessons. And you can learn anything that you can think of at any different level across crypto and blockchain. So one of the hottest topics we were talking about just today has been the metaverse. But many of you who are new might be like, hey, what is a metaverse? Well, here's a beginner article. It'll take you about 8 minutes to read that explains exactly what a metaverse is. Even if there are other topics in the explanation you don't understand, you can go straight through to other articles that explain it to you. Again, this is developed for our Binance users. It's not like we're trying to explain it to developers or something. So it's all content that you can actually absorb, understand, and use. So what is DeFi 2.0? What is NFT staking? And there are some really, really cool guides that I know a lot of you will really like, such as a complete guide to cryptocurrency trading for beginners. So if you have never traded anything before in your life, you can register a Binance account, open up the complete guide to crypto trading for beginners, and then you can get going. Understand what is fundamental analysis, technical analysis, what drives the markets. And even if you want to just find out about what a specific project is, like Carvin was saying, like Higgo was saying, it's very important to research and understand these sort of things. So if you wanted to buy some Litecoin, but you wanted to find out what it is first, I can come and find out, quick 5-minute article, what is Litecoin. So make sure you bookmark the Binance Academy page. You download the Binance Academy app. It is 100% free. Always will be. Everything is free. And if you're a little bit of a more sort of advanced person, you want to go into deeper topics like tech, maybe deeper technical analysis like Fibonacci and stuff that we were speaking about, you can just go and select the advanced topics, for example, search those, and you can see we've got beginner lessons, intermediate lessons. So anything and everything from crypto trading, investing, technology, whatever it is you're interested in, you can find it 100% free on Binance Academy. So before we move on to our last speakers, again, who are going to be very popular with a lot of the youth, humble brag, on CoinMarketCap, you can check yourself. Binance is the world's leading exchange. We've done 383 billion Rand worth of volume in the last 10 days. And on Binance, the reason it's so popular and you can find all these opportunities is we have over 411 different coins from you to choose from. So make sure you've registered your account, you've filled in the form, or you're going to fill in the form. You know how to find your UID. And again, always between the interesting stuff, I've got to throw in a little bit of the boring stuff. But we're now going to do a Q&A with people that have really dedicated a lot of their lives to educating the youth about financial education, about investment. And I think in Africa, across Africa, it's something that us as the youth have always lagged behind slightly on. So personally, I love what they do. I love their journeys, and to see them now, passionate about crypto, moving into the crypto space, I think I'm so excited for what's to come for their audiences. So they've already done a lot for the youth in terms of financial education, upliftment, and they are now here to chat about their views on crypto. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ivyn Sambo, financial content creator and educator, as well as Blake the Champ Williams, so youth influencer, world hip hop dancing superstar. So, gentlemen, good day.
Good day, Brenton. How are you, brother?
Good day. How are you doing?
All good. Look, today's been such an exciting day. But I guess some people can say we've been saving the best for last. So I think you guys can do an intro much better than me. So just in a few words for the very few people who probably don't know who you guys are, I'll go over to you first. Ivyn, do you want to just give us a bit of background on who you are, what you do?
I don't know. Can you hear me now, gents?
Yeah. Perfect.
I don't know what happened. I think Escom just switched off. A lot of just happened. South Africa. The Wi-Fi switched off for a second there. But thank you so much for having me this evening. For those who know, my name is Ivyn Sambo. I'm a financial education content creator. Basically, I'm that guy on YouTube and TikTok that simplify the world of finances, whether it's stocks, investment, whether it's government bonds, property, or the crypto market space. I try to make it simple and easy to understand and remove the hard technical terms that people use. But people throw some big terms which will demotivate people from investing or even buying a Bitcoin or buying a Ethereum because they're using hard terms. I'm there just to simplify it, make it easy to understand. That's basically is who I am.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ivyn. And it's literally people like you that are going to bring the next billion people into crypto. I think at the very beginning, it was a small circle of techies who, sort of threw around ththese terms like encryption and SHA-256. But, don't be fooled, like Ivyn said, that you need to feel intimidated by these big terms. As we can see, we're all involved in crypto. And I promise you, I also have no idea what those things are. So, Blake, we've actually been working together for quite a while. I'm very excited to have you back on board. So again, for the few people that probably don't know Blake, maybe across Ghana, Kenya, Blake, tell us a bit about what you do, about what the group does, and some of the youth education and initiatives you've been involved in.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brenton, for having me. It's so awesome to be on this panel with such amazing speakers. I mean, I took away from every person that spoke so far, and I'm really looking forward to what Ivyn has to say as well this evening. And then, as always, I'm looking forward to what you have to share with us, because it's always wisdom and it's always knowledge. For those that don't know me, I'm a two-time world champion hip-hop dancer. Since 2010, I've represented South Africa at the World Championships. Until 2018, we've been bringing home the gold. And talking about gold, I thought it's time for me to now start tapping into investments, As an entertainer, there's no sustainability, unfortunately, in the industry. So how do I then create a passive income for myself? And initially, I bit the bug when it came down to Bitcoin. I heard about it, I got into it, and I wasn't impressed with the returns at first, to be honest. It was too early. So then I decided I'm going to learn more about Forex trading. And through my journey in trading, I fell in love with investments. And then I started hearing more about cryptocurrency. And when I started working with you, when it was about 2 years ago, we started working together, and I started getting all this insight from Binance and the proper education around cryptocurrency. Also a reliable platform that I could share with family and friends. That is when I fell in love with it, and ever since I haven't stopped.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Blake. I mean, I think a lot of us can relate to a Carvin story where, especially with such a new space, you want to have confidence in the platform that you're using before you go and, advise your uncle to drop 10K, and then suddenly he goes and he sees this message on their website. So at least with Binance, that's a problem you do not have to worry about. So, gentlemen, I am really, really interested on your opinions on a few topics. Like I said, you guys are very plugged into the youth, very learned in the trading and education space. And a lot of the youth really look up to you. So, a lot of people always say, don't show me your term sheet, show me your portfolio. So, don't tell me what I should invest in. What are you investing in? So I know, some of you might be early in crypto, but what role do you think cryptocurrency should play in your investment portfolio, or what role does it currently play? And if you're looking to sort of have a big investment in crypto in the future, or some sort of investment, what is the driving factor behind that? Do you believe it's the future, or sort of what's driving that? So Blake, maybe we'll start off with you.
Cool. So I think for right now, through the times of COVID, it's very obvious to all of us that we can all do with a passive income. I mean, who doesn't want some extra cash at the moment while we're struggling through opportunities, perhaps loss in jobs, etc. The list goes on. After we're coming out of such a long period of struggle, to tap into investment opportunities by earning a passive income through cryptocurrencies is absolutely necessary. So for that reason, right now in the current state in the world, even people that weren't open to it before, I think now that they would be more open to it, because now we know we actually need it. And then in terms of the future, I can't see a future where I'm not going to be paying for a sports car with cryptocurrency, or buying a house. That's what most cryptocurrencies are now based on, is the smart contracts. They are putting the measures in place. The NFT, for example, the NFT is the structure to introduce cryptocurrency to the world in a much more appealing and tasteful way. That's all it is. People must understand that they think, what's this new thing? It's not a new thing. It's just packaged differently. It's still based on cryptocurrency. And I think that's marvelous, is because now so many people are open to it. People are finding it in a creative space also. We like visual things, and you get to hold on to something that you can feel proud of. It comes down to the basic concept of art. You get to hold on to this piece of artwork, but it was bought through the cryptocurrency structure, the concept of crypto. So I don't see a future without it. And I mean, if I'm thinking like that now, why wouldn't I want to master my skill in cryptocurrency so I can be a step ahead in the future?
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Blake. And I completely agree. I personally feel NFTs will really help us accelerate that traditional crypto adoption. But Ivyn, someone who is very, very familiar with and in love with your traditional investment vehicles, your property, your stocks, your equities. What's your view on crypto, and where does crypto fit into this whole investment thesis for you?
I think I have a different take as compared to what Blake had. In terms of my point of view, I'm into the technology behind the cryptocurrency itself. I believe primary in the technology and what it's offering in terms of how we will take the traditional finance spaces we have to the more digital space. And I'm more of a guy who currently, before when I started my investment, I used to have investment where it was almost 95% into traditional investment. For the past 3 years, I've immigrated from 5% being crypto to now sitting almost 18% into crypto, because I'm believing the technology, especially into blockchain systems such as the one offered by Cardano and the one by Ethereum. I know people have to put them to fight each other, but the technology, I think both of them are needed in the world, and there's space for both of them to exist. And I'm looking more into the ADA system as well. And I believe in the technology that is being offered in terms of improving lives, in order to ensure that there's a stability in terms of the general well-being of us as human. Because one thing about me, when I come to my investments, I want to vote with my money. I want to ensure that whatever I put money in is to the advancement of us human, and mostly us Africa. So that's why I'm putting a lot of my money into ADA. I know a lot of people follow me on Twitter. I've been seeing, I've been putting a lot of information around that system, because I believe in the technology that is offering. So in terms of the future, I don't believe you can sit out and say you're going to ignore crypto, you're going to ignore the blockchain system. We cannot no more. I'm a traditional guy. I'm still hugely in the stock market. I'm hugely into bonds. I'm hugely into the traditional fields of investment. But now, as we see it, I just released a new video on my YouTube channel where I stated properly. I said, like, I'm moving from 18% crypto to 25% crypto. And the reasons for that is because of system like ADA, system offered by some of these advanced new coming up coins. I discovered a new coin 2 weeks back that's going to shape the way we see the metaverse when it's accepted and created, and the way they want to do it in a sustainable way that will advance and protect the climate, ensure that there's no interference between the digital system with our natural climate. So those are the system I want to put my money on, and the system I want to ensure that they take a huge part of this new metaverse revolution, this new blockchain revolution, this new a digital space. So that's how I see it. I see you cannot be an investor in the 21st century, in 2021, going to 2022, what having a minimum. Guys, I'm saying a minimum of 10% in the crypto. I'm not saying Bitcoin, I'm not saying Ethereum or Litecoin, but you must have a minimum of 10% in the crypto space, unless you're not an investor. For me, in my eyes, you don't have a minimum of 10% in the crypto space, you're not an investor at all. That's what I'm going to say.
So, Ivyn, I absolutely love that advice. And look, I think one of the most important takeaways from this is, look, Blake is still very involved in the Forex trading space. As we've seen, Ivyn is actually weighted a bit more towards traditional investments, etc. But I think a lot of the time people always are of this opinion. It's either you're all in or nothing, right? It's either you're a crypto believer or you're not. And exactly as we can see, crypto now forms part of a healthy overall strategy. Of course,
don't add on that as well.
Definitely. Exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And just in terms of what you're just saying, I don't believe in this idea that you can be traditional or a crypto. We are living in a space where those debate is over. I think you are dead. You're not a human if you can say such a thing. You cannot invest into the stock market and ignore the crypto space. While the stocks you're investing into, they are buying, those companies are buying crypto. They're into crypto themselves. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? You're talking about investing the shares of Facebook, while Facebook is into the metaverse, and the metaverse is the blockchain system. Like, does it make sense? Does it make sense? You see,
I think maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, people could have come with those arguments. They could have denied us, but exactly like you said today, that merging of the traditional world and the crypto world it's undeniable. It's undeniable.
And I want to add on to that, guys. I must say, what a big point that you made there now, because in the Forex world, right? Because the companies like Tesla, Amazon, all of them bought into cryptocurrency, whatever happens on the crypto market directly impacts their shares and their stocks now. So that will impact the charts. So like you say, there's no getting away from it now. Whereas before you could have said, I want to see what's going to happen first. Now you need to say to yourself, I need to learn what's going on here.
100%. And look, I think what's really scary is that although we've now gotten that air of legitimacy and maturity in the market, everyone from the Bloombergs of the world, etc., can't deny us. I still think there's so much more room to grow. And I think that leads me on to the second question that I wanted to put through to you guys. So you both are, like I've already mentioned, stalwarts in the financial education and investment space, right? In your own rights, in different areas. And I think you'll both agree that the way you evaluate investment or your technical analysis, for example, is completely transferable to crypto, right? So one of the things that I think, we've gotten golden nuggets from everybody. So what would be your number one tip, whether it be in investing or trading for any asset class, Forex, stocks, whatever, the number one thing that you wish you knew when you started that would have saved you a lot of school fees or a lot of anxiety along the way? So, Blake?
Take this one first because I'm going to be short and sweet, Ivyn, and then I'll hand over to you. My one is simple. There's no shortcuts. That's the one mistake that we all make, is everybody wants the overnight success because of what they see on social media, in the media, everywhere. They see large amounts of money and now they want that. That's their goal. Whereas I would tell myself in the beginning process, take your time. Firstly, go educate yourself. It doesn't take a lot. And once you know it, you can't unlearn it. You know it already. So it doesn't take much. If you look at the short time that you sacrifice to learn about the crypto compared to how much money you can make from it, it's outstanding. The numbers are vastly different. So I would say take your time, educate yourself, and then use the skill and develop the skill. Because after that, the profit flows in. No problem.
100% agree with that. So make sure, I see we've already got it here in the YouTube comments, the famous crypto term, DYOR, do your own research. So education. And, I think, the early days when me and Blake, Carvin got involved in crypto and stuff, it was really hard to find good sources of information that you could trust, that were easy to find. But now we've got things like Binance Academy, where you've got one single verifiable education. It's pretty much like the Wikipedia of crypto. Anything you want to learn, whatever level you are, just go onto Binance Academy, download the app while you're on the way to campus. In between lectures, you can do a quick 5-minute lesson, and you're good to go. So education is key from Blake the Champ. Ivyn, over to you. What is the one thing you wish that you knew that you know now?
Understand the fundamentals. Technicals are good. They can help you a lot, but understand the fundamental. Every cryptocurrency has an aim, has a mission that is trying to achieve. Understand it. And if you understand it, the more you understand it, this crypto is the one to invest into. Even when it comes to stocks, whatever investment you make, understand the aim of that investment, the why it exists. What is it trying to achieve? The sooner you do that, the more you understand that is this a right investment for you, or are you trying? And also at the same time, that will help you to understand if that crypto or that investment you're trying to do meets up with your personality, because it's important to ensure that you invest into assets that speak your same tone as you, or else you have sleepless nights worrying whether your money is going up or down. So that's the one thing for me I wish I knew day one. Understand the fundamentals, ensure the fundamental meets up to you as a person. Because for me, personally speaking, I'm not a Bitcoin guy. I will never discredit Bitcoin. It's a good, it's the big daddy of all crypto, but it's not an Ivyn type of investment. But when it comes to ADA, that's my type of investment. When it comes to Ethereum, that's the type of my investment. It meets up with my personality, and I understand the goals and the objective it has, and it meets up with what the type of person I am. So understand the fundamentals, understand the fundamentals, understand the fundamentals. That's the one thing I would say.
Nice.
Again, absolute gold nuggets being dropped here. And I love this because, I think this goes back to even something that Carvin was chatting about. You have to really understand that the market cap, the circulating supply, because here's a simple example, right? If you have a token that's trying to replace Netflix, right? So that's video streaming. Is that an industry that you enjoy, that you know about, one? And then two, what is the size of that industry? If the size of video streaming is $3 billion and the market cap of your project is $3 billion, then the potential growth is almost non-existent. So when you start understanding these fundamentals, one, it helps you evaluate your investments. But two, like Ivyn said, because he understands what the vision of Ethereum is, what the purpose of Ethereum is. If he sees, some blood in the markets because somebody made a tweet, he's now not going to panic like, you would if you had no idea what Ethereum was doing or trying to do or who the team was. So both of you, absolutely brilliant advice. So let's keep these nuggets of knowledge going. And to end it off for both of you, much more a fun question. So I think Ivyn's already started to touch on it. So what cryptos are, one, currently sitting in your bag, or two, are you taking a serious look at getting involved in? And for this question, we're actually going to pose it to all of the speakers. So after Ivyn and Blake, I'm going to bring up Carvin and Higgo as well. But let's start off with, I see Blake's already unmuted, so let's start off with you, Blake. What's in your altcoin bag and what are you looking at?
Okay, that's easy. So definitely ADA. I'm going to jump onto what Ivyn was saying all the time, is because we know the story behind it, we are super passionate about that cryptocurrency, because those are the type of cryptocurrencies that's taking us to the future. The smart contracts, the ones that are there for the evolution of where everything's going. So ADA, 100% Ethereum, XRP, the basics, obviously Bitcoin, quite a bit of Bitcoin, and then the Binance coin as well. And a coin that I have my eye on is definitely Shiba Inu. It's at that level now where it's actually time to get in. So just waiting for the right opportunity. Will be sometime in this week, and then I'm going to back on that.
So if you want to know when Blake the Champ is jumping into his Shiba position, make sure you're following him on Instagram. I'm sure he'll be posting something up to let you guys know. But no, I love it. I really love it. Very nice, Blake. Okay. Ivyn, like we said, I think your bag is probably going to be a little bit similar to Blake's, but what's in your bag and what are you looking at?
I think me and him are same WhatsApp group. ADA, I have to, guys, like, especially young people my age, people our age, they cannot sleep on ADA. I think that's one of the, like, guys, I'm saying in the next few years, in my point of view, it's not financial advice, it will be sitting in the top 3, if not number 2, in terms of the top 10 cryptos. I am saying it. And you can quote me on this. Because I believe in the fundamentals, in the what they're trying to do. Guys, I will be speechless if I try to speak more about this one. But the second one I'm looking at right now is a new baby on the block. People are sleeping on it. People are ignoring it as like, but I won't be buying it anytime soon. I'm thinking of buying it next year, February. It's a new coin. It's called Meta Hero. It's focusing on 3D printing and taking 3D printing to the metaverse, but make it simple, make it sustainable in terms of the climate change, and also have other projects that are developing, trying to make it more accessible to low-income households throughout the world, mostly Africa and Asia, to make the metaverse accessible to them as well. And that's a market you cannot sleep on. So I'm also now I'm currently watching into what Meta Hero we're doing at that crypto coin. I'm watching, I want to buy in right now. I'm thinking maybe next year, February, after some few of their projects that went out, maybe I may buy. But currently, I said I'm same with the Blake and my position same there. But in terms of the other coins, the Meta Hero is the one I'm starting from far right now.
Brilliant. Look, I love, exactly like what you said, is that it's also very important for you that the fundamentals of the investment line up with your own sort of direction and your views in life. And I think Meta Hero does exactly that. So very, very, very interesting, Ivyn. So we see Blake and Ivyn in the same WhatsApp group. But let's now bring up another financial aficionado himself. So what is the CEO of FinMeUp holding in his bag, and what is he potentially looking at?
Yeah, so my biggest holding, like I said previously, is Ethereum, just because I understand the use case is better for Ethereum than for some of the others. So Ethereum is my first, then Bitcoin my second, and those two together make more than, I think, 80% of my crypto portfolio. So some of the others that I have small punts on, very diversified. Some of them are in file storage in the crypto world, some in the community, some in the NFT. So to give you some names is Solana, just as a diversification play from Ethereum. And then some of the others, Filecoin, which is in this almost storage of the decentralized world, whatever. Then Chili's, which is this like almost when we were kids trading fan from our sports teams trading cards. They basically make it now decentralized through blockchain technologies. And then another one is D-Race, which is my NFT play. Just because I'm not clever enough to understand which NFTs to buy individually, so I'd rather just buy D-Race, which I think is a cool project. And the token, I think I heard someone say when you buy the token of an NFT like D-Race, it's like an ETF, where if you buy the NFTs, it's the specific stocks. So I'd rather just buy the NFTs for the diversification play of the specific project.
Brilliant. So you can see the financial professional coming out of Higgo there, making sure he hedges his bets, diversifying a few plays, but a very, very interesting portfolio, spread nicely across a number of different sectors. So last but not least, I'm going to bring up someone whose portfolio probably looks a little bit more degen like mine, and that is Carvin. So Carvin, what are you looking at?
I'm like none of these guys. These guys are super conservative. They've got their plays. Me, I can have all my money one time in one coin because I see it going up. I can loot my whole portfolio and throw it into something that's on the rise. So if you catch me at a different point, my portfolio might be like almost 100% Cardano for that moment. And then I see, okay, cool, things is cool. Then I'll spread it again. So that's just been my play. That's how I've made the most money in this game over the last 5 years, is basically following the news. I follow the news. I'm a news guy, and anticipating the changes and jumping in. That's been my play. I could tell you that it's all sophisticated and thought through according to my personality, but in some ways, my personality is jump in and do it. But if you're asking me what I will be holding when I'm not playing wild, I'll definitely be holding Cardano. Like I said, I bought Cardano for 12 cents. So I'm going to be in Cardano for a long time. I'll be holding Bitcoin. I insist everyone should hold some Bitcoin. And of course, Ethereum. But my number one play is Cardano because besides, like everyone's pointed out, the projects, I've been with it for a long time. Because I've been with, like, for example, Tron. I bought Tron when it was 2 cents, 1 cent. And I held it when it was 28 cents. There was a time when Tron was 28 cents. So Cardano has been the most consistent. And if you look at the trajectory of or the graph of Bitcoin since the start, up, down, always up. I think Cardano, as we go into time, will be the closest to Bitcoin. And then, of course, the BNB coin. The BNB coin. So you ask someone if you could tell yourself what would you do early in the game? What advice would you give yourself? My advice to myself would be buy Cardano and buy BNB. I mean, BNB in particular. Like, I cannot believe that we were scoffing at BNB at like $6. Oh, how dare they sell us their own coin at that price? And now you look at it, and you're just like, wow, I wish I was paying more attention.
I mean, just to give you guys some context, BNB is obviously our own Binance coin. So it was only launched in 2017, and like, my memory might be off a bit, but I think we launched at about 10 US cents or 15 US cents.
Ridiculous.
We peaked well over $1,000. So even I was talking to some of my friends recently, and I think it was this time last year, BNB was just under $30. And it's now over $600. So for those of you that are going to be winning today, make sure you hold that BNB. Yeah, sorry, Carvin, you were saying.
I held BNB at $50. What must have been in the beginning of the year? I did my thing where I dumped all my portfolio into one coin, and it was into BNB at $50, and it just kept moving. And I was like, and then you think to yourself, it has to like stop. like 150 and it's out. And then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep some, but I'm jumping. And then BNB just kept moving, and I was like, okay, so this is not just like an exchange coin. It's now got multi-use, and people believe in this coin because every exchange was now coming up with their own coin, so to say. And what I would do is I'd go there and I'd think, oh, it's gonna be BNB again, and go to a different exchange and buy their coin. And the coin would just sit. It would just sit. I'd be like, oh, I'm wasting my money. BNB has proven to be different to all of those.
So the one recurring theme that you've heard from all of our speakers, asterisk, this is not financial advice, is ETH, ADA, BNB. So you heard it here first. I know we're approaching the end of tonight. If it was up to me, we would sit here for the next few hours and speak about crypto, but we will definitely be back, like I said. So before we do a live draw for today's 10 lucky winners, and remember, for the other giveaways, it's open for 7 days. So you can share this video with your friends, with your family. They can go into the chat and get the entry form, follow the instructions. If you follow Ivyn, Blake, Carvin, Higgo, I'm sure they'll be sharing their links over the next few days if you want to set up an account over the next few days. But crypto aficionados, newly minted Binancean, some of you not so newly minted, Carvin, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing your knowledge with us. It's been, and at times I even forgot that I was hosting a session, and I was just like, it's such a cool webinar. I'm so glad that I'm here. So once again, finally, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. And we will see you all again very soon.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Brenton. Thanks, gents. It's been amazing.
Brilliant. So it's unfortunately that time where we've got to leave. But before we do, we will be giving away 3,000 Rand in BNB live right here, right now. So I hope you got your UIDs correct on the form, because that's how we're going to be paying you. So just give me 1 second to set up, to get in game show host mode. There we go. So we are going to select 10 of you that completed the form by now, randomly using our little wheel of names. And each of you will get $300 in BNB directly to your Binance account in the next few days. Let me share my screen. So all of you that have already completed the form, which is a whole bunch of you, you're in today's lucky draw for the 3,000 Rand that we're going to give away now. And remember, the rest of you, don't panic. You still have the next 7 days to complete the form and complete those tasks. So even if you haven't registered a Binance account, even if you're watching this on Thursday, you can still enter all of these giveaways for 35,000 Rand. But without further ado, and let me actually, give me a second. Let me use the names so that it's slightly easier, because you won't probably, not like me where you know your Binance user ID off by heart. So if we spin that, you won't even know if you're a winner. So let me use everyone's names rather. Hold thumbs, Yusuf. So here we go. I don't want to waste too much time, so we're going to pull out those 10 winners rapidly. Remember, we've already got your user ID that you filled in with your name, so don't stress. We know exactly who you are, what account is yours. And our first winner for today Sambo Mashimite. Congratulations. So unfortunately, we're going to remove your name because you can only win once. Kenneth, congratulations. go. Adrian, you now have some B&B coming your way. Oh, that last tick. Bertie, congratulations. And our halfway mark is Ivyn. Congratulations. So, second half of our winners starts off with Alan. Congrats, Alan Webb. Winner number 7. Lebogang, congratulations. Winner number 8. Congratulations, Dirk Brandt. Our second to last winner, so I hope you're all holding thumbs. Kyrie, congratulations. And our final winner, just of the lucky draw part, is Sweletu. Congratulations. So, to all of our lucky winners, we've got your user IDs. Your rewards will be sent directly to your Binance account over the next few days. But if you weren't one of the lucky winners today, remember that there is still 160 Rand in guaranteed crypto waiting for all of you. All you've got to do is register a Binance account, go to your dashboard, put that 8-digit or 10-digit number at the top of your code in here. And over the next week, before Monday, the end of Monday next week, just place your first trade on P2P, which we've shown you earlier today, and your first trade for over $100 on the Convert portal. And next week, you will have 160 Rand of free crypto in your account. And that is for everyone who participates. It's not just a lucky draw. So that will be open for the next 7 days. So like I said, share it with your friends, share it with your family. The more crypto, the merrier. So finally, all of you, thank you so much for joining us today. Congrats to all of our lucky winners. If you aren't, there's still crypto in line for you over the next week. A final thank you to all of our amazing speakers. And we will see you all again very, very soon. Thank you so much for joining us today and have a great evening. Cheers, everyone.